Hi, now we will see about unsupervised learning and why we need to use this unsupervised learning and how the unsupervised learning works and types of unsupervised learning algorithm. So unsupervised learning, basically it is a machine learning algorithm in order to analyze and cluster the unlabeled data set. So that is very important. So we have a list of data where there is no description about the data. Now our algorithm has to learn on its own and it has to analyze those data, and it has to differentiate, or it has to group the similar elements on its own. We doesn't give any inputs from the human side or from the user side, and the machine or the algorithm has to learn on its own. So that is called unsupervised learning. So these algorithm, they will discover the hidden patterns or the grouping without the need for human intervention. That's what I said. So its ability to discover the similarities as well as the differences in information, making it the ideal solution for explanatory data analysis, cross-selling strategies, customer segmentation, and image recognition. So these are the areas where the unsupervised learning are used. So here you can see I have a set of informations or a raw data, and I am giving to the algorithm. Now this algorithm has to differentiate, or it has to group the same elements from this raw data. I am not providing any labeled information or description about this. So how unsupervised learning works? So I have two major steps. One is provide the machine learning algorithm uncategorized, unlabeled input data to see what pattern it finds. Whereas the second step, it has the observe and learn from the pattern the machine identifies. So here the machine is dividing the collection of elements or data points into one similar group and another similar group. Okay, so there are the types of problems where the unsupervised learning is used. So I have one area is clustering part, and another one is the anomaly detection. So in clustering, so are there patterns in the data to indicate certain patients will respond better to this treatment than others. So there are area like healthcare where I have some question whether this whether this particular analytics will help us to differentiate the patient. So in such case I can use this unsupervised learning, and I want to find whether any hacker is any intruders are there in our network. For such classification also I can use this unsupervised learning. So unsupervised learning, it is useful for finding useful insights from the data. It is much similar as how the human learns to think on their own, right? And unsupervised learning works on unlabeled and uncategorized data, which makes unsupervised learning more important, right? So it is helpful for data science where the data science team doesn't know what they are looking for in the data, and it can be used to search for unknown similarities and the differences in the data. So for example, the user categorization by the how much they are active in the social media. So you can categorize the users. The given method does not require the training data to be labeled, so thereby it is saving the time. So unlabeled data is actually much easier and faster to access. So such an approach can find unknown patterns also, like if any patterns which is hidden, so we can identify such patterns, and therefore useful insights in the data that could not be found otherwise. So it reduces the chance of human error and bias which could occur during manual label processing. So if you find in the in-depth analysis of the patterns which is hidden, then there is a possibility of minimizing the errors, right? So let's have a look at how the supervised learning work. So here I have a set of raw data with which comes with some label. So now this information, that is that both the data and the labels has to be given to the algorithm. Now this algorithm again with the intervention of the human, there will be a human who will be providing this set of informations like training data set and expected output. Now this algorithm has to do the processing. And again I'm giving a set of inputs for testing part. Now after doing all these activities, now the algorithm is able to give it can identify the type of animal which is given in the image. So it can say this is elephant and this is camel and this is cow, because we are providing labels as well as the human intervention. So with these to help, the algorithm is able to identify it very easily. Whereas in unsupervised learning, so it doesn't have any human intervention. There is no labeled information. Only the unlabeled information is given. So that it has to be interpreted before applying it to the algorithm, right? So after that, the processing will be happening, and similar elements will be grouped together. So we have unlabeled input data, which means it is not categorized, and corresponding outputs are also not given. So now this unlabeled input data is fed to the machine learning model in order to train it. First it will interpret the raw data to find the hidden patterns from the data. Then we can apply any algorithms like a k-means algorithm, a decision tree, etc. Once it applies a suitable algorithm, so now the algorithm will divide the objects into groups, the means it does the processing by identifying the similarities, and it will start grouping it. So the difference between supervised and unsupervised. So let's see the definition. So supervised, it is a learning setup commonly used in machine learning where human supervision is involved as they label the data and provide a target output to the algorithm to map the input to it. Whereas in unsupervised learning, it is a learning setup commonly used in machine learning where the human supervision is minimal or not at all present, as the model finds the pattern in the data without any supervision. If you see the input data, the data has labels, whereas here it doesn't have any labels. And if you see the data usage, it has X features and Y variables, and the model will be using the correlation y is equal to f of X, whereas here the patterns are found in the X features of the data and there won't be any Y variable, that is there won't be any correlation at all. And when to use this supervised learning, so when we know the expected outcome and what is being looked for, whereas in unsupervised we doesn't know what will be the output and what we are looking for. And if you see the type of problems, we can the type of supervised learning or regression and classification, whereas here I have clustering, dimensionality reduction and association. And if you see the output, it is a predicted label, whereas here it will be either in clusters or some association rules. And some more differentiation also is there, which we will see it later. So types of unsupervised learning, so I have clustering and association, because if you see here the output, here it will be in the form of either clusters or association rules. So those are the main types. So clustering, so it is a data mining technique which groups the unlabeled data based on the similarities or the differences. So clustering algorithm, basically it processes the raw and classified data objects into groups represented by some structures or by the patterns. Right, so it can be categorized into few types, especially exclusive, or it may be an overlapping, or it is like a hierarchical, or it may be based on probability also. So here you can see it. So clustering algorithm, so one is the hierarchical, based on hierarchical or based on partition. If it is a hierarchical clustering, so I have these two types, like agglomerative algorithm, or I have the divisive algorithm. Whereas based on partition, so I have this k-means and fuzzy c-means. So let's see an application of clustering. So I have this image segmentation. On the right hand side, I have a picture where a tiger is walking over the green grass, and I have a river passing by. Right. So how the algorithm will interpret? So it will divide based on the colors. So it will divide into 4 segments, like the one which is with the blue color, the grass which is green color, and tiger with orange or some other color, and the sand with the with one color. So there are 4 colors, and it means there are 4 segments. So this is how it works. So image segmentation is the classification of an image into different groups. So this type of clustering is useful if you want to isolate the objects in an image and we want to analyze each object individually to check what it is. So in our example, so if you see, there are 4 clusters which are 4 different objects in the image. Like we have a tiger, grass, water and sand. The next one is association. Basically this is a rule. So an association rule, it is an unsupervised learning method which is used for finding the relationship between the variables in the large database. For example, it is used in the market basket analysis, right? So for example, people who buy an item, let's say the people are buying bread, so there is a possibility for them to buy butter or jam, right? So having such connectivity or such relationship, we call it as an association rule. So the main use case of association rule is recommender system. So the association rules, it is used widely to analyze the buyer baskets and detect the cross category purchase correlation. So the main example is frequently bought together recommendation, which we can find in Amazon. So the company aim is to create a more effective upselling and cross-selling strategies, and they provide product suggestion based on the frequency of the particular item to be found in one shopping cart. So this is an example which we might have seen it often. So the person is trying to buy a body wash. Okay, so along with that, it is recommending to the Amazon screen is recommending to buy a white toothpaste along with the toothbrush. So it will, then they will give some concessions or discounts also, so they will have some price. So having, the person is trying to buy only this, but the recommendation is system is recommending the other two. So this is called association rules, because the other two items are frequently bought along with the other with this elements. Okay, so this is called association rules, and with this I will stop. Thank you.